I'm going to tell you 4 things you need to know about the new cheaper home battery scheme changes by the federal government from May 2026. It was way too generous to start with. Australians love getting government subsidies and handouts, so people were maximizing their installs often to 40 or 50 kilowatt hours, even if they didn't even use that much. I know several people who got massive installs like that, and they sent me comments on chat groups like, haha, I'm never even going to use that much, but I just got the maximum because I could. Anyway, here are the 4 things you need to know. The first thing is that the federal funding for the total scheme has been massively increased by $4.9 billion because the original amount of funding was due to run out. Estimated by potentially midway through 2026, the take-up for the cheaper home battery scheme was that big.
Please contribute. It really helps my independent, honest journalism for you.
The initial amount of funding was $2.3 billion, and now the funding is being increased to $7.2 billion over 4 years. The government now expects 2 million Australians to install batteries by 2030, double the initial prediction, delivering 40 gigawatt hours of additional storage to the Australian market, which is really good. And I think over 150, possibly 160,000 people have already had batteries installed at their homes thanks to this scheme, including me. Now, the second thing you need to know is that the rebate is now tapered. Before, the rebate was roughly, after admin costs, about $350 per kilowatt hour of battery storage. That incentivized people to get ridiculously huge batteries, 40, 50 kilowatt hours, which they wouldn't use most of the time. It was a waste of public funding. Okay, now, the reduced tapered scheme means that if you get a smaller battery, you get the full benefit as people did previously. From 0 to 14 kilowatt hours, you get 100% of the rebate. That's roughly the size of a Tesla Powerwall 3, for example, or just slightly under 3 5 kilowatt hour battery stacks. Okay, now, the second tier is from 14 to 28 kilowatt hours. 60% of the rebate applies. That's pretty good. I think that's what the battery scheme should have done in the first place. I have a 30 kilowatt hour battery system. My parents are getting a 25 kilowatt hour battery system in a few weeks' time. That's a pretty sensible amount for the majority of people. Almost no one needs 40 to 50 kilowatt hour batteries at home. It's just a waste of money and a waste of physical space. Okay, now, 28 to 50 kilowatt hours, what about those battery installs, you're asking? Well, the government's making sure that they don't incentivize those much. Only 15% of the rebate applies to those, and that means you can still get it if you want. If you can afford it and you want to get that huge battery and trade on wholesale electricity market, go for it. But the federal government, and that means taxpayers, including you and me, will only be subsidizing a tiny bit of that extra portion from 28 kilowatt hours to 50 kilowatt hours. Now, the other thing that changes is the rebate will decline every 6 months instead of every year. The original scheme will apply as planned until May 2026. And then from May 2026 onwards, the rebate will decrease every half year. So with steeper reductions over time, I'll show you the numbers on screen. As you can see, it's really clear. The rebate really incentivizes batteries being installed between 14 and 28 kilowatt hours. This actually matches, maybe by accident, I don't know, or on purpose, the New South Wales battery scheme, which gives a rebate to anyone in New South Wales who gets a 28 kilowatt hour or less battery for applying to join a VPP like Amber or Globird Zero Hero. So that's actually pretty good. If you get a battery that's less than 28 kilowatt hours after May 2026 and you're in New South Wales, make sure you get the New South Wales battery rebate as well. You're not stuck with the VPP long term. You can just stay with it for a little while, try it out, see if it works for you. If it does, stay with it. I'm finding mine battery works really well with Amber Electric, for example, but there are other options out there. Or you can quit and you can still keep your New South Wales battery rebate. Anyway, tell me what you think about this change in the comments. Look, a lot of people are going to be upset because they planned on getting absolutely huge batteries and they won't be fully government subsidized as much anymore for that. But I think it's a sensible use of public funding because public funding doesn't just come from the air, it comes from taxpayers like you and me. It should be spent wisely for the maximum benefit for the maximum number of people. This means that people will be getting more sensibly sized home batteries, which can more accurately match their household needs. Yeah, this is a good decision. It should have been done from day one, but at least the government admitted that it wasn't well designed and they've decided to fix it with several months of lead time for the battery industry and solar installers to get used to it and make sure they plan ahead.
Thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. It really helps me make more videos like this for you. And have a look at the suggested videos up above. I'm pretty sure you'll like those as well. Thanks, and see you later.